What's going on, everybody? Fall in at attention. You are locked into a special episode of the Husker Army podcast brought to you by Hurrdat Sports Network and the folks over at the Facebook Husker Army fan page. Go check them out. Here we are, the Hurrdat Harbor Pinnacle Bank Golf Championship. I mean, what a beautiful scene, guys.
It's freaking
Come
gorgeous.
on.
Not
I mean,
for a better day for some golf.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Gorgeous
day.
talk.
It's like the stuff you see on TV.
It is.
It really is. Very, very cool.
Well, I am your host, Bryan Knutzen. With me, as always, our recruiting guru, Mr. Matt Sass, a.k.a. Herbie Husker. Our two guests today, a couple good Husker fans. We've got Mr. Noah Peters right here and Mr. Brandon Borchers.
Go Big Red.
Go
Amen.
Big Red.
Yeah, Brandon, the reason you're on here, and you know it.
Yeah, I know.
Being a diehard Carolina Panthers fan, I need your thoughts on Rule from before he left your beloved Panthers
Yeah.
to when he came here. Has your outlook changed?
It has a little bit, you know. I mean, it's been an unfortunate time watching the Panthers and the Huskers, you know, for the last, 10 years or whatnot. You know, it's like I feel like I was watching the same games on Saturday as I was on Sunday. And it's
Those
like
close
no
losses,
offenses,
the
you
close
know.
losses.
Yeah, close losses, defense keeping you in the games, and offenses just not being able to pull it out at the end. It's like, man, I've been watching that for, 7 to 8 years of just the same thing Saturdays and Sundays.
Yep.
But,
No quarterback, then that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
So.
No offensive line and no quarterback. It's just kind
But
of.
optimistic now.
Yeah, I think so.
Del Norella, he's a little bit of a different beast.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I didn't really know about Rule over at Carolina because I really don't follow the NFL. I'm a terrible football fan when it comes to that. To me, all that matters is the Huskers, man. Huskers is all that matters. So college football is where it's at. So admittedly, I didn't know a whole lot about Rule when he got hired. So when he got hired, I'm personally like, okay, what's he going to do?
Well, you knew about him in college and how he brought, programs.
What he did at Baylor,
kinda
what he did at
revived
Temple.
what he did at Temple
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah.
I mean, that Temple Notre Dame game.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh.
they're replaying it right now all over. And, oh, God, that game was phenomenal. Game days there and everything
Oh, yeah.
at Temple. And it's like, whoa.
He's always been an amazing college football coach.
Yeah.
Just
Rebuilder.
being able to rebuild programs and just get guys in his system that he can play at any level, except for NFL.
Yeah, and I don't
Baylor having the limited scholarships that he was allowed to have.
Yeah.
I mean, the
He took
situation
over,
that was
decimated.
unreal.
God, what
To be
Unreal.
fair, though, a lot of great college coaches do not transition well.
Saban.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
plenty of
so-
Saban. Case
a lot
in
of
point.
examples, but
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
I mean,
agree with Brandon.
Saban needed
It's-
more time, in my opinion. but-
what he's done
Yeah.
at the college
But I
programs
agree.
he's been at, he deserves more than a fair chance here. I think overall the team has shown improvement on, so many facets of the game.
yeah.
I say massively he's improved the team.
Oh, big time.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, if you guys, let's think about this. I mean, for one, he decided to keep Raiola on the staff for the offensive lineman.
Smart decision.
It was because if you not just
everyone
to-
hated it.
Exactly, not just to land
It worked.
Raiola as a recruit, which I'm sure that had a little bit of a factor into it. I mean, come on, let's think about that.
Could be.
But you look at that offensive line, how beat up they got throughout that season, how patched it was, and he kept those guys together. He did. In my opinion, that offensive line got a hell of a lot better as that season went along.
I agree.
It just, they opened holes, they gave time in the pocket. Now, was it perfect? No, and it's never going to be.
Well, the scheme helped.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Started out
moved
rough.
from Frost scheme to Rule scheme. I mean, we're power run team. I mean, it definitely helped.
Yeah, absolutely. And no, when Rule was hired, I mean, me and you talked about it because you actually knew more about what he'd done at the college level than I had because I didn't really follow him. And you were the one that actually said, let's give this guy a chance because he's going to open some eyes.
Absolutely. I think it was a great hire. With all the turmoil with, the former coach, on
He
his
who
way
shall
out.
not be named.
Oh no, it's not that bad. But
The past like 3 or 4.
we try not to live. I try not to live so much in the past. But I think the way the team's playing, their attitude, I think they believe in what he is coaching, what he is selling, what he believes in. I was excited about the hire, mainly because, a lot of the, analysts and pundits were very, very high up on the hire. But once you kind of dig into the research and, find out what he's done and what he's able to kind of turn these problematic programs into, I love it. I think it's that's super hire.
That's one thing I would say about him when he was coaching for the Panthers is he always had the locker room. He always had the players on his side. They always
all
had
the
his
respect.
back.
Wow.
Yeah, they had his
McCaffrey's
respect.
been open.
Yeah.
About saying that he was a phenomenal coach.
He was kind of thrown into a bad situation to begin with, and he didn't have a whole lot of NFL experience, and none of his coaching staff did either.
Ooh.
So he pulled a lot of other college guys that he knew that were well-respected college coaches, but they just didn't have the experience in the NFL, And he also had a lot of choices, kind of more GM stuff than he did also with the coaching. It's like he had a lot of control over that program, which,
it's a whole different ballgame.
It's a completely different ballgame, but he always had the players' respect, and they would come out and say, like in press conferences, they took responsibility for their own actions.
Wow.
Like
you don't get that
not
a lot
throwing
in the
the
NFL.
coach under the bus at all. It was.
Well, off your last interview with Bill Bush, going off how important it is to form relationships with players, I think he is awesome at that. Like I said, if these kids believe that you believe in them, or young men, not kids.
Billy,
apologies.
Gotcha.
I think, and you get the whole program to buy in. That's when you start seeing changes. And you've mentioned before that a lot of these guys have been here through all this turmoil.
Yes.
And they've still stuck around, even when they could have left.
Yeah.
That really shows something in that locker room is going on.
Yeah.
So.
What impressed me the most, especially the first year, was like the accountability factor.
Yeah.
So, if his coaches aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, he makes them run.
Yeah.
If the players aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, he makes them run. And
If he's not doing what he's supposed to do, and he runs.
If he says something wrong and he catches it, he punishes himself and makes himself run.
I didn't know he was making the coaches run.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They had him running.
open-
himself
the
was
open
running
practice.
stadium stairs on the last chasing 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The open practice for the fans and everything. The players were walking from position groups to position groups.
No.
And he stopped practice right in the middle and said, "You know what? Nope, not going to do this. Let's run." So then at the end, this is what impressed me the most, especially with Dylan Raiola being a true freshman. So the defense had to run gassers because they did like a punt catch
Oh, okay.
drill or something.
Oh, I heard
the
about
offensive
that.
players won, so the defense had to run drills, had to run gassers. Well, Dylan Raiola still ran it with them.
Oh my God.
I thought that was really that's a true freshman though. You're mature.
That builds respect, though.
Yeah,
It really
I'm
does.
so
Everybody in that
excited for
locker
this
room.
kid.
Like Matt said, as a true freshman.
Yeah.
That
Usually it
speaks
takes
volumes.
time. Usually it takes a lot of time to get the respects and stuff like that. But
Absolutely.
he walked in and immediately is like, "Okay, this is my team. What do I have to do?" I
And
appreciate that.
Going back to what
That's
you
amazing.
said about Rule having the respect of his players, even at Carolina, that does speak volumes. Because if you look at what he did as soon as he was hired here, Malachi was going to jump. He was gone because he wanted Mickey.
Yeah, we might be seeing him up
First
in
thing-
Boulder right now.
First thing Rule did when he
dude.
got here, got in contact with Malachi, and guess it worked out.
Oh, and Jalen Lloyd.
Look at the transfers. How many have we actually had leave?
Not
I
many.
think we're one of the fewest in the country.
Yeah, it's on the lower average.
We have to be because players have bought into what Rule's selling, and so is the coaching staff.
Yeah.
And then you look at what he did with the new defensive back hire, Butler.
Yeah.
He had that. He knew what he was doing. Granted, I'm sure Cooper kind of gave him a heads up. Hey,
Well, it gives him another opportunity for another defensive coordinator hire.
yeah.
Because after this year, White has another
Tony.
good year. He's going to be a head coach somewhere.
Damn.
And
Yeah.
it's
gonna
just
hurt.
what it is. But,
Yeah.
give you more options, more to think about. Because Rule in his past, he's made it a point to hire within his staff. He doesn't go out and hire outside. So, more options, and that's what I like.
I agree. And when it comes to Tony White, guys, I was afraid he was going to jump after this last season.
So
I
was
really
I.
did.
Yeah.
I mean, the job he did with that defense and the way those guys are flying around right now, you can't really just pick out one star player on there. It seems like everybody doing their job, it contributes to the whole team.
I mean, that's the most important thing, though, is everybody has to do their assignment. And if
We haven't had that here
we
lately.
haven't, then everything comes together as one. So
And that's where the accountability factor
yeah,
comes in.
absolutely. So
How
you see all
excited
these.
Would you
see all
guys
these.
be to see the black shirts of old?
Oh,
like
my
come back,
God.
that defense,
Like the
dominating
90s?
defense.
Oh, my God.
Of just
Well, you see all these small cogs of the wheel
Yeah.
starting
They're there.
to come in.
There's tons
you know,
of good
They're there.
athletes,
There's still a long ways to go, but
You
it's
saw
just,
a bit
it's
of
nice
it
to
last
see.
year.
You did. What did Rule tell Bill Bush? Like, hey, thanks. Defense isn't our problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Defense is not our problem.
Not at all.
So that's a huge compliment, to the former coaching staff, but it's also a huge compliment to the young men on the team
Yes.
right now.
Gifford especially, it looks like he
Oh,
just
Gifford.
he took the reins of making sure this is
He's
how it's going to be
everywhere.
done. This is how we're going to keep it.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking for big things out of him. Hartzog. I mean, obviously, Hutmacher.
I think Nash is.
Ty Robinson.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
we
what
only
about,
lost 3 starters on defense.
what about the players that
huge.
aren't getting mentioned, like James Williams?
Very huge.
Like James Williams, I mean,
Tommy Hill, I think,
Yeah.
is big for. He
got put on the
had
freak list yesterday.
he had a great end of season. Well, he had a great overall season, but
James
really
Williams,
came on the end of the season last year. I think
And
this year
Hill did
he's
a great
gonna-
job turning his attitude around, and the
Yeah.
team saw that. And, they realize that now he's with us. He's not going anywhere.
He's with the team. He's going to finish it out. I'm excited to see him. Our secondary, I think a lot of people have question marks about it.
Well, of
but,
course.
Just on one side, really.
The way that they played last year, I think they're going to be a solid unit.
I think so, too.
agree.
It really could keep us in a lot of games, and it could be really the deciding factor as long as they can start getting more turnovers.
Yeah.
That could be the deciding factor in those games that we lost last year by 3 or less points. So, I mean, it could be a huge difference right there.
I have a strange feeling. You're not going to see a lot of like those 3-point losses.
I don't think so.
That's
I think the confidence
kinda
in
how
this
I'm getting
team
into
is too great. They have a year under their belt with the coaching staff.
Yeah.
The unit that they want is now slowly coming together. I think those are kind of hopefully a thing of the past, but I don't see it with this. Unit.
we also had a lot of players that it could have been their last year, but they chose to come back.
Yes.
For a very specific
Yep.
reason, and that helps tremendously.
Well, all those heartbreaking close losses like that just builds character. I mean, it
Yeah,
builds
it does.
these young men to be.
Oh, they wanna
you know,
win.
Yeah.
And it's like what Bill Bush said in that Iowa game in 2022. The way that we were going in as a 3-win team,
The walkthrough.
they could have packed it in.
Yeah.
They could have been like, let's just get through this, get the hell out of here, get home, we're done.
He said
No.
he said that he knew they were going to win that game just going through the
Yeah.
walkthrough. There was something
That's
different.
just-
you
that's
know?
Yeah.
phenomenal. I love hearing that.
I mean, as a
It's the
coach, to
hatred
be
for
able to
Iowa.
identify that
Yeah.
and through a walkthrough, I mean, that's
I should have
That
asked
was
him what he said to Mickey. And I wonder if he walked up to Mickey and be like, it's going to be a good day, coach.
yeah. I'm sure
Just
they
feed Trey
communicate.
Palmer the ball. That's what he did.
That was a wonderful performance.
It really was. I mean, anytime you can walk away from Iowa City with a win anyway.
Yeah.
And God, I can't
And to
believe
keep them out of the Big Ten.
Can't believe I said
Yep.
Iowa. It's always Iowa. They're just idiots. I can't help it. They're Hawkeye fans, all right?
Well, you gotta
Just like Colorado.
It's Iowa.
I never have anything good to say about them either.
never want to single out any listener.
Oh, I will. I will. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I guarantee if any Colorado fans have listened to any of our stuff, they know how I feel.
Depends on how much hate you want to get on YouTube here, bud.
Hey,
You know?
I'll take all the heat from Colorado fans. I'm down with that. I don't mind.
Hey, you can get my Twitter handle. Bring it on. I don't
Bring
care.
it. Ours is simple at Husker Army Pod. Just hit us up. We'll let you know.
I have a quick question though,
Yeah.
if you don't mind. Your favorite play in Husker history?
Oh God.
I'm gonna go with Eric Crouch running over the Iowa
Blowing
safety.
up that DB.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
I won't go an exact play.
Ooh,
I'll just go defense as a whole after, I believe it was 94 when Behringer had the collapse lung.
Yeah.
And we had to start.
Yep, it was 94. Had the collapse lung
Terminated.
against Wyoming.
Had to start. Yeah, that was my first Husker game I ever went to.
came in.
And we were losing at halftime.
Yeah,
And then they never scored again in the second half.
Yeah.
that is true.
So I'll just take that performance.
Yeah, I mean,
That was phenomenal.
you could pick almost any type of moment from the 94-95 season.
Yeah,
I mean,
but,
that's
but
just a
that
given.
game alone, I wish I could have been in the locker room to see what the coaches said. Because I guarantee it wasn't anything.
I think back then they left a lot of the motivation up to the players themselves. We've all seen the video of was it
Christian Peter.
Oh
You know, my God.
I think back then it was kind of like, all right, leaders.
Yeah, they never had to worry about keeping those
Yeah.
guys going.
Yeah.
They pretty much did it on their own.
Yeah, I'm still willing to bet there was a little bit of yelling in that locker room.
Oh yeah,
At halftime.
of course. I mean, anybody that's seen the Day by Day documentary, look at the dungeon. I mean, I would not have wanted to have been down there.
Yeah.
Not a chance. Not with Wistrom and those guys.
Yeah.
No way. Those guys would kill you.
Yeah.
But man, if I had to pick Brandon, I'm still thinking, dude. You got one?
Matt Davidson, you got to go with that.
That's
man,
that
they're
catch.
going Missouri.
It's huge. I've thought
that-
about that. It's
That
what
kept his
that did
national
for the
title season alive.
Yeah.
Crouch's catch to beat Oklahoma.
Oh!
Yeah.
So
See, there's so many. It is so hard to pick something.
I'm just thinking like that one with Crouch running it. I mean, that was just.
Oh, it's beautiful.
well, Frazier's run against what?
You know, yeah,
Florida.
the run.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's just such an obvious pick as
I
well,
know,
though.
that's why I didn't want to choose it.
For me, I can't go with a single moment. I'm going to go with a player. And for me, this may seem like a cop out, and I apologize, but it's Brooke Behringer.
Yeah.
I had so much respect for him. For one, staying here. For two, stepping in when he was needed, didn't complain, ran the offense the way it needed to be ran. Granted, he wasn't as flashy of a runner as Frazier was, but who the hell was at the time, other than maybe Lawrence Phillips? But what he did, and then, not only that, to not start the Orange Bowl that season, come in, start getting the offense going when they were puttering, then get brought back out to let Frazier go in and finish it off. I mean, sorry. It's just the character and everything that he showed here.
that's the.
To me, anything he did here,
Yeah, that's the definition of a team.
it is.
player.
Anything Behringer did here, that is my favorite moment of Nebraska football. Anything that young man did. Because he exemplified what this program and state stand for. And he was just a perfect teammate. Granted, I know everybody's got their flaws. I'm sure there was times he was probably an ass to somebody, but everybody has an off
It's
day.
football.
Yeah, everybody has an off day.
Exactly.
I mean, you got to get on your boys every once in a while, you know.
So I would have to say, just in a whole, as you said, Matt, you go with the 94.
So,
I've got to go with Brooke. I just do.
Agreed.
He was just too good. And he would have had
Sticking with my answer.
He would have had.
I still bring that clip up to Jed every once in a while, Brian.
Now, if
So,
I want to
you
go
know.
with sheer hatred pick, I'd probably go with the opening touchdown in Boulder in '95. Yeah, it would have been '95. Option play to the left, pitch to Amon Green, gone.
Yeah.
First play of the game, and it couldn't have been against anybody better. The Buffaloes.
Yep.
I hate them. I hate
It's
them.
his performance.
Hey, like
That's
I
what
always say,
Missouri,
yes.
I'll take that performance any day of the week.
Hey, when it comes to Colorado, the way I always put it is you can't spell the C-bomb without CU.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying. I can't call them by name. They're always the Buffaloes.
I love it how your wife is shaking her head over there. On that
I know.
but right now.
But this is all stuff she hears all the time. She hears this on like a daily basis.
I'm sure it probably
Anybody
gets
brings up
worse on
Colorado.
game day.
Oh, no, game days is just, oh boy. Especially when I drank. Oh, no, it was not good. It was not good at all. When we lost, oh, God, it ruined my whole day.
Have you
I
guys
think I
seen
broke
that?
a TV or two.
Have you guys seen that latest video of the Colorado hype videos that they were showing?
Yeah, the
And-
darts only.
Yeah,
Of
darts
course.
only. So they show him throwing like a 10-yard pass, but then there's like a guy 40 yards down the field catching the ball. And it's totally edited.
Me and Brian were talking about how much hate and how
Everybody's
everyone
trolling
is
them
making
now.
fun.
Just- yeah.
Even the PGA came out and did one, and oh my, that was Idaho's might be the best though.
I haven't seen Idaho.
Guys throwing a pass in the indoor practice facility, and then all of a sudden the receiver's
outside.
catching it outside. Perfect.
Yeah, it's Colorado brings it upon themselves though. They really do.
They want to be showy and
Yeah.
flashy.
Yeah.
And
And then Shador to say
They
that
wanna
they're
be
everybody's
relevant
Super
again.
Bowl this year.
Okay.
Please.
well, yeah, remember how good they thought they were 3 games into last
Yeah.
season, and then
4-8.
look how it
Yeah.
turned out for them. So
Yeah, what they start 3 or 4-0, 3-0,
I think 3-0.
and then they lost to what was it, USC first?
Colorado State.
No, Colorado State almost got them in week
Yeah.
3.
Oh yeah,
That's
they
what it was.
came back.
It was
they were down
TCU,
28
us, and then
points or
Colorado
something.
Yep.
State.
TCU, yeah.
Yeah. And the TCU thing, I mean, come on, that wasn't
They
really
lost a
surprising.
lot from the year before. too.
That wasn't surprising at all. All right, enough about talking.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
done talking about Colorado.
I agree.
This is a Husker podcast. It's not a Colorado podcast.
Yeah, but it's fun to make fun of
It
it.
really is. I mean, you could do it all day long.
Oh,
That's
they
the
bring it
sad
on
part.
themselves.
Exactly.
They make it very easy for us.
As a Husker fan, that's got to be like one of the most hated teams I could ever
It
have.
is.
Yeah.
It's my hated,
Yeah.
most hated.
I agree.
Them and then Iowa.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
everybody's in
Well,
agreement there.
All right, so we're sitting at the, what are we doing, 20-minute mark there, Cam? Right on. All right. Sweet. We got about 10 minutes left. All right, let's go around the table then right now. Noah, let's start with you. What's your outlook on the upcoming season, my man? I mean, obviously a bowl game. That's a given.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bowl eligible after 6 games? Start 6-0?
I don't. I mean, I think we have the potential to do that. Overall, the outlook is I'm like really excited for this year. Last year being a first year, for Rule, you're gonna have those
Weren't quite sure what to
freshman
expect.
mistakes.
Yep.
This year, I think we have to kind of expect the same thing with the freshman quarterback. I think even though it hasn't been announced, I think Rail is going to be the
Oh,
starter.
yeah, it's a given.
But with a freshman, there's going to be freshman mistakes. It's adjusting to the speed of the game. It's a lot different than high school.
Yep.
Now, I believe he has all the natural talent in the world, and he's going to be an awesome quarterback. We have been known to have costly mistakes at very costly times. We have to cut down on those.
Just a little.
But yeah, I think 7 wins easily. Bowl eligible possibly after 6-7 games.
Okay.
If we hit 8, I'm happy with that.
I think a lot of people would.
Because hitting 8 wins and then going to a bowl game, of course, is it's like ending a Detroit Lions playoff drought.
It really is. It almost feels that way.
It'd be you guys going back to the Super Bowl.
It would be. Yeah.
But I think realistically we're looking top end 8 wins.
All right.
Maybe a 9, if they show up on the right day against the right team.
True.
But I'd be happy with 7 to 8 wins, and then even more good things to come in year 3. So
Well,
this is a Rome wasn't built in a day kind of thing.
Got that right.
Yep, I agree.
and pull out those close games now.
Yeah, you got it. You finish.
Yep.
If we see that,
Yeah, that's a big factor.
even if we end up with 6 wins, but we're finishing games,
True.
that's an improvement.
Hey, if we go
you
from
know.
losing by 3 to 1, there's improvement.
Yeah. So yeah,
I still won't be
I'm
happy, though.
optimistic.
No.
I think it's going to be a good year for us, and I think
so.
there's
I
going to
agree.
be some surprises, and I think Rule and his staff are going to put out a product that Nebraska's. We're always, proud of the team.
We are.
I think they're going to put out a product that we're going to be cheering especially loud for this year.
Yeah, win,
So-
lose, rain, or shine, we're always behind them.
And it makes it hard not to being a lifelong Husker fan when you have that Chasing 3 and you have these documentaries and all this stuff coming out. I mean, it gets
It
you,
hypes
like,
you
I
up.
get
Yeah, you get
You're already, you got goosebumps going right
that's all I
there,
did,
dude.
too.
That's
So,
crazy.
I mean, it makes it hard to not become involved and
Yes.
root for the team. So
When we say it's in our blood, I mean we're literally not kidding. It's there.
We were watching games at the farm, or listening to them on the radio.
Yeah.
We
grew up in the day and age where not every game was televised, guys. We had to listen to ones on the radio.
Yeah, growing up for me, like Husker Saturdays, my grandmother, it was come in the house, watch the game, or go outside and don't come back.
Yep.
So,
don't say a word.
Over.
That's my grandmother.
That's a great family, man. That is a great, well put together family.
Exactly.
My friend. All right, Brandon, what are you thinking? What's your outlook?
Well, honestly, I would be happy with 2 wins. Iowa and Colorado.
Yeah.
But to be real, I mean, no, I don't think 8 wins is out of the question. I think Nebraska is building a program that has what it takes to get better. They've been getting better. They got a ton of new athletes that have come in from transfer portal, freshmen. You got Raiola, who's just, honestly, I'm on that hype train. I'm ready for it. I'm hoping he's the guy.
Sure
I'm hoping he solves a lot of our issues, be quarterback. But, I think Nebraska has a good defense that we've seen last year. I think the offense.
Yeah, we'll stay in every game.
Yeah, and I think the offense is now going to be better with all these, new recruits that we brought in. And I think, I would love to see anything over 500. That's going to make us happy. Get to a bowl game. I think the greatest thing would be back in the top 25 and stay there.
Yeah.
Agree.
And what a bowl game does is it puts you kind of in the national spotlight again.
Yes.
Something that a lot of people,
postseason
Nebraska's
play.
Playing 11 o'clock games, things like that, non-prime time. If you get a decent bowl game and you're an up-and-coming team, really gives you a lot of important exposure.
Well, you also got to think about the extra practices.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
A lot of extra practices for the younger players.
Yeah.
I like it, guys. Well, we don't even need to give you our predictions. I mean, we've done it like
on record numerous times.
Yeah, we've done it, and everybody knows
So.
me. I chugged the Kool-Aid from start to finish.
What is your prediction again?
Look, the worst.
He's got the same
12-0.
prediction every year. It's undefeated in the national championship.
The worst
every year.
The
Never
worst I could see
changes.
us losing 4 at the worst. But to me, we'll see y'all in Indy.
Yeah.
See y'all in Indy.
I mean, that's the goal every year. It's like Kenny says.
There should be no other expectation.
That should be
your
the
expectation is
I agree.
to play for a national championship every year.
But realism still sets in.
Yes,
It does.
Yeah.
So, are we Georgia good? Not yet.
Not yet.
Let's see it.
We'll get there.
So, recruit.
All right. Well, I think we've pretty much hit our time limit there. Guys, this has been awesome.
It's been a blast. Thank you.
Been beautiful out. Can't thank Hurrdat enough. Can't thank Indian Hills enough. This has been awesome. Indian Creek. Geez, see, I'm messing up everywhere. But edit that out,
like
Cam. We appreciate it. Just go ahead and we'll edit that one out.
Beautiful course.
It is a beautiful
If you get a
course.
chance
It
to
really
come out
is.
here, definitely.
I used to work here.
So, yeah, thank you so much to Hurrdat. This has been awesome. Guys, you know where to find the podcast, at Husker Army Pod. Find us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You can find us there anywhere you're audio only, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Cam, I'm sure there's a heck of a lot more than that. So you guys just Google us, you'll find it. Husker Army Podcast. So for myself, Bryan Knutzen, our recruiting guru, Matt Sass, and our guest, Noah Peters, Brandon Borchers, Husker Army, you know what to do. At ease, you are all dismissed.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.